Hey there, welcome back, guys. Special thanks to Star Power Pros and Neil, who sent us the HARDELL cordless rotary tool, similar to a dremel. It's got many uses, especially for into 3D printing or tinkering around the house. And DIY, first choice, it's got 4 volts, 2000 milliamps, 5 different speeds, which is great. 61 accessories. You might want to get additional ones if you got a chainsaw and other stuff that needs sharpening, and multiple functions. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's see what kind of uses we're going to get with this thing, especially in the world of 3D printing, gardening, or whatever rocks your boat around the DIY projects. So these are some of the uses we'll have for it. I already started sharpening this, which is phenomenal. Look at that. I just gave second life to one of my hedge trimmers, and was able to do down there too. Ideally, you want to purchase the right attachments for this. If you have a regular Dremel, the attachments won't fit because this one is a little bit smaller. The specs will be in the description down below. But we have one over here. See, look at that. Could use some work on it. We got some 3D printed parts, which I'll show you what you could use it for if you're doing 3D prints, because it's got a sander and a little drill. But let's see if we can bring this one back to life a little bit. Now remember, there are some settings here. Check it out. There's a little LED light. If we turn it on, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's on number 3 right now of the LED. See that? And then you have 4, and then 5 is faster. You could use it as a drill. And it's kind of neat, huh? But I'm going to do it a little bit slower. Not too fast. Probably 4. For this, want to make sure it's charged, and then you just square away. It's a little windy out, but as you can see, we will get this thing back up and running so that we can trim. Whoops! Don't break your stuff. So we can trim some gardening. Do some gardening and trim. Oh wow! Ideally, this might not be the right one, but it's working. So out of the box by default, you will get something. Oh wow! Oh my God! Look at that. That's that's scarily sharp. So careful. I don't recommend maybe kids doing this, but if you're old enough. Oh wow! Yeah, we definitely gave a second life to these pruning shears. Look at that. And then we can do in there, give it that extra see that? And then we can just go in there. Shine it up a bit, get that excess crap out. Get in there. Voila. Now it's ready to be used. I could use a little more in there. And you decide what setting is right for you. Maybe 4 is too fast. But you have 5 different speeds to tell you that. So if you're really good, you could knock it out. And now, whoops, make sure you shut it off because it will vibrate and start to move around. And let's see what we have here. Look at that. Nice clean cut. These are pruning shears that were just given a second life. There are other uses for it too. You could probably, if you have the right attachment, this will get you started. This little pink one right here. No, it was pink, but it's getting used up. Will get you started. All right. You probably want to use a diamond bit, but we don't have one with us. It's the correct size, but we could even use it on the chainsaw. Check this out. All right, I already started it, and this one probably a little bit faster could be good, maybe 4, since there are 5 settings, and get that right angle. Oh yeah. You know, it might get you through half the saw. Let's see. Just move it like that, and then. Oh yeah. It's just barely the right angle / pitch. Just enough. I'd say probably one round with the blade, just enough to do this whole blade. And the battery's still going. You know, a little dirty and messy, so just know that, you know, you will get some gook on this thing. It was pink, it's still pink. Thanks to Neil. Thank you, Neil, for sending this. We'll show you the other attachments that are in here, which are super useful. You've got a little sander. You got other attachments for the attachment, you know, replacement one in case you need a replacement for it. See, right there. Little sanders and a little drill bit. So what I needed the drill bit for was that I believe the drill would probably go on. No, that's for the sander. Let's take it out like this. So if you push it in, right, and then turn it. See, that falls out. Put it back in its place because you don't want to forget your stuff. And then I believe you put it in, or you change the attachment. Let's see. No, it's about the same, almost the same size. Let's see what's, oh yeah. So you would change the attachment to get the drill going. Okay. This one's a smaller one, see that? So what we gotta do is swap it out. And I'll show you what we could use the drill for. You could use the drill on certain 3D elements that you might be printing. So let's say we'll put that there. And then we'll push this in, take that out, put this here, and then we have our drill attachment that goes in. We'll put the drill bit in a second, which is great because, you know, it'll work. It comes with all the accessories you'll need, and you'll never need any other accessories except for the sanding bits, because that will allow you to have a different experience with those little sanding features. All right, let's see. I'm going to loosen it a little because it's too tight. Put this in, and so right about here, we'll turn it so that it's super tight. Just push that in, push this in like that. Get it at that right angle, see? And voila. And now when I turn it on, it should turn. But what you want to do is, so sometimes you have 3D parts if you print with no infill, zero infill. This is cracked, not because I dropped it, but because it was so much air in here after it was printed that it just popped and exploded. So I already made a hole with it with another Dremel, but let's see how this one actually works. This one's more powerful. So we'll turn it on. Maybe a little bit slower since it's fragile, but we should be able to drill a hole. And whoops, yeah, we got one. Look, really nice and smooth. Might have been a little bit too fast, so I think for the holes, you know, something like if you wanted to focus on something like that. So that you don't prick your finger. One might be too slow. Whoa, and there you go. But you gotta hold it steady, otherwise no damage was done, but the hole actually needed to be made here. I'm gonna show you a video on how to do that, but see, voila. And you know, you could also use the grinder to grind through it. I wonder if we can grind it, or use another drill bit to make it bigger, but in this particular case, that's okay. We did what we needed to do, which was use it as a little drill. And some 3D printed parts do need to be drilled, like your propellers. If you've gotten those propellers that need a little bit of a bigger hole, this drill bit would probably be ideal. It also comes with a sander, Let's check out this sander. So we're going to take this off because for the sander we got to use another attachment. So again, it's similar. So we'll just take that out and we'll just keep the parts together so that we don't. And as you can see, this I will definitely have many uses for this. And if you are a hobbyist like myself and have these tools, have a chainsaw, have gardening shears, do 3D printing, or maybe you even need something that can drill as small a hole as that, without taking out those power tools, right? Like, why take out all of your power tools when you can have one tool to rule them all? So the sander, this one looks a little bent, but I'm sure, and a little polisher, which is kind of neat. So we'll take this out, and you can see their sizes. See, this is for the other sander. We'll use this sander first, if we can get that out. So this will go like this. See that? Presumably you would need a screwdriver. So that's the only thing it doesn't come with. The little screwdriver to unscrew this, but we should be able to do it by hand. All right, and turn it until, see, you can do it by hand, but you probably want it to be tighter. This is just for demo. And then you put this on like that. See, the sandpaper, little tiny thing of sandpaper is on there. And you're probably wondering, what could I sand? Anything. If you're into carpentry, the smallest trim work. Or if you're into 3D printing, we'll just turn this by hand. Remember, use a screwdriver, but I think I trust this for now. Find the right attachment that goes with it. I believe you can test it beforehand so that you don't waste your time trying to finagle it and do everything. All right, so then that worked there. And then now we can put this on. You got to put this down. And hold on one moment. All right, then we turn it. See? So once it pops, you're in. You are golden. And then once that's like that, now you can put this in and turn this. Now it's tight enough. Whoa, watch your stuff. We'll put that over there, little rocket. And we could definitely pull this out a little bit more, so it give us room to work with it, because it is tightly in there. And now if you have those 3D printed parts, right, that need some sanding because maybe you don't have a super cool, faster printer, you could use this. Of course, you could do it by hand. I'm going to get this out of the way and turn it on. Ideally, probably 4 or 3, and you can just, as you can see, all that in there, all those grooves, right? Oh yeah, look at that. It's working. Everything's coming off. Now you want to be careful when you're, oh wow, oh yeah. Oh, you could do this by hand, but with a sander, but why not use the HARDELL, right? Look at that. Yeah. This was great because I've been meaning to do this for so long, but I didn't feel like doing it by hand with the sander and the grit paper. And as you can see, I will definitely get a lot of use of this. Whoops. It's totally smoothing out. See that? See how? Yeah. Just have to know when to stop. But this is definitely working. Carefully. That's smooth. You could probably use it to just get out the coarse parts and then sand it down with the right sanding grit. So this will help to get out the really hard stuff, and then you can sand it out and smooth it out later. We don't have a smoother grit here, but we have enough of a grit to just get out the imperfections and blemishes, and the rest can be worked on later, because as you know, if you sand the 3D parts, you know that there are usually 2 or 3 stages, and this could be stage 1 if it works out just right for you. And we get that in there. So this one did print a little bit chunky, chunky crunchy, so it has more to take off than usual, but we can definitely fix the rest later. Again, this takes time, so you don't want to rush, but it is definitely doing the job. Look at that. This would be stage 1, and stage 2, as you know, would be done with another grit to really smooth it out, to get that out of there. But so far so good, if you ask me. Yeah, it's not dangerous, won't hurt you. I'm just getting out the lumps. Look at that. Compared to before, it's definitely better. It just needs a little more work. Like you see there, those little chunks. And we'll just get that out. Oh, wow, especially there. Look at that. So we'll fix that. I'm sure with the Creality High printer, my prints might come out just a little bit better, because it has a priming tower. So it may not be. You'll definitely still need a sander, but not, Oops, don't take too much off. No, it's okay. We can fix that. Definitely better. Use a little more there. Nice. Definitely better. Definitely needs to be worked on. With the final grit to smooth it out. But we're just getting out the lumps and big lumps. If that makes any sense. So we definitely got the big chunks out, which make it actually better and smoother to use too. Not so smooth because it definitely needs smoothing out, but definitely to get it in its primary infancy stages to level up your game controller. So that takes care of that, which is really neat. We're going to shut it off. And we also have some other attachments here. Let me just get that off my hand. So look at that. The game controller definitely is better. A little bit smoother than before. Got our buttons there that were 3D printed, and definitely got those really coarse parts out that somehow got there by the 3D printer, but it's okay. So we got our tools, power tools, game controller, right? And your little sanding thing here. Oh, a little thing that will let you cut other tools. You see, look at that. Maybe you have some working with ceramics. This is pretty cool. If you want to cut something or grind something, you want to do some shop work, that works really well too. And then you have here, other diamond bits, which are optimal. See right here. For other needs, this one might be a little bit better for the chainsaw, for sure. A little bit different, and just looks similar to the one that I originally used with the other Dremel, but a little bit smaller. But you want to use the right size. And again, those attachments are really cheap, right? And then you have here that you can use right here. Some other. Let's check out these sanding parts. You have a little buffer if you want to, buff something out. I wouldn't use it on this, but definitely on other things that you want to buff out. So this is it can be your craft kit, or an extension to your tool kit, right? Your power tools. So, you know, you decide, or it could be universal, as you can see here. I personally will be using this for my 3D printer, and I will personally be buying the attachments so that I could sharpen my chainsaw, because they charge $25 every time I need to go sharpen it. And so, you know, that's a cost savings right there if you know how to sharpen your stuff. If not, you know, might as well just drop it off. But if you want to experiment on what it's like to be handy, you can't go wrong with this. This is really good. I'm still going to use the other Dremel too, you know, depending on my needs. Look at this. See that? Most of them could be done by hand. You know, just watch out. It looks like they have little spacers, so we'll flip it upside down, right, so that the spacers don't fall off. And then we unscrew it, and then we can put the little sander thing right there. See that? And then this will go here, or the other way, whichever, you know. I've never really used the sander Dremel before, so if I'm doing it wrong, please do share. But seems pretty ideal this way. And then we'll just screw it on. This is nice because if you want to sand that angle and reach that specific angle, this will actually do the job. So now we'll just push that out, turn that around, right? See, we'll put this back later, and then try out this attachment. Oh, nice, this one fit, so we didn't have to take it apart. And voila. So now you've got, be careful, because if that spins fast enough, you could do some damage to your fingers, possibly. So as you can see, for those hard to reach places, maybe you want to be a little bit gentler. Oh, wow. And sand, ooh. That one is actually making things a little bit smoother. So you see, if you had the perfect grit and shinier, you could use this to finish the 3D print job. Oh, wow. Of course, it will require patience, but this is really cool. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you have the time, you could. See that? Or maybe on your woodcraft. It has a little light, see the LED? So if you're working in the dark and the lighting's not right enough, we'll just shut that off. It will shine, the light will shine, which is really neat. So we're just gonna take this off. And it has a little, as you can see here, little packaging. Charger to USB, let's see, USB-C for charging, which is great. As you can see, the charge does last a long time. I've been using it for almost 20 minutes, you know, and it's still charged at its full percentage, so that's pretty good on that sense. We're just going to take this off, and with this one's still good. Let's see, and we'll put it right there for a second, and we'll put this back on. So they can be done by hand, but I recommend keeping a little screwdriver bit handy, so that, you know, you can make it really taut, because especially when you're dealing with attachments for drilling, right, or sanding, etc. And that one will go right back in here. See, kind of neat, huh? And then this one, of course, the little sander, so the sanding experience. Whoa, oh, let's check this one out though. Let's see how much. See, we did a lot of some sanding, but didn't use a lot of it. We'll just leave that one there, so we have it for next time. Look at this one. It took off all that 3D grit, and look, it still can be used, except we actually may not have to, but we might be able to put it back in to its case, so have it ready for use for next time. And so all good to go. These are the extra additional attachments. But if you want to definitely use it on a chainsaw, I would definitely get the proper bit for it. And as you can see, that's not a problem. I'll leave a link to that in the description with the sizing. Kind of neat, huh? Just as powerful as your Dremel with a cord, but this one has no cord. So on the Accord, I definitely give it And applause, because this is just great. As you can see, I will definitely have many uses for this, and this will definitely not be put on the shelf and put to bed after this video. And I actually have a video where I'm going to be printing another one of these, so it'll definitely come in handy there. And as you can see, I got my chainsaw that needs sharpening and other stuff, which I'll be tinkering with around the house when I'm not in the room of creations. So thanks again, Neil. I appreciate that. I love the HARDELL kit, and it will definitely be part of the life and this channel moving forward. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.